Hello, my beautiful warriors, and welcome back to my channel. I am Rebecca, aka the Mobility Mom, and you have reached Coffee Talk with the Mobility Mom. Here we talk about Disney, travel, and living with a chronic illness. And so happy to have you here. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. And if you are a returning warrior and haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am extremely grateful for all of your support, your likes, your thumbs up, your shares, your subscription, all of that. It means the world to me, and I'm so happy to have you with us today. So let's get talking. So, welcome. First off, thank you to all my new subscribers. While I was away for a couple days, I came home to see that I had acquired about 15 to 20 new subscribers. So welcome. So happy to have you here. I hope you stick around. If there's something you'd like to talk about, please leave a comment down below and tell us what you'd like to talk about. I have started up a conversation with one of my subscribers who recently subscribed, and I was so excited and blessed to get to know them, and I hope we continue to talk. And so welcome. And so let's kind of get started. So as you know, last week I was in Orlando. We stayed at the Comfort Inn on down near International Drive. And I told you I would tell you in the comment, in the description box, whether or not they had handicap rooms. Well, I did talk to another clerk that was on duty, or receptionist or whatever, and they assured me they do have handicap room. He said, unfortunately, they only have, I think he said, like 3 or 4 rooms that are handicap accessible. And that particular week they were booked solid, which was why I didn't get one. Even though I had booked one, they were just overbooked and I didn't get one. As I explained to him, I wasn't complaining about that. I was okay in the room I was. Like I said, the tub was a little slippery, but they did have a hand bar, and I was able to get in and out pretty safely. But they do have actual handicap accessible rooms. So if you ever book a stay there, be sure and maybe call in advance and make sure they're available for the time you want to go. They had an amazing hot breakfast in the morning. They had like Mickey waffles and cereal and eggs and sausage. I haven't seen a hotel recently to have a full breakfast for a while because of the pandemic. So that was really a nice addition to the morning. I was able to grab some breakfast before we spent the day out in Orlando. So I was going to tell you some of the stuff we did that week. I'm kind of out there. I'm tired, and my thoughts are just like right off the track. So we went down for 3 days. It was a 3-day sort of a spring break weekend with my son. I was hoping to do a day at Disney, or at least do Disney Springs. But unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate, and the afternoon that we had decided to go down, it just like opened up and the heavens just flooded on us. And so we kind of got held up at the hotel for a while. But we did do some mini golf. We actually did 2 courses. The first one was Gator Golf. And I will tell you right up front, it is a fun place. It looks a little old and run down, but it's so much fun to putt there because you actually see live gators and turtles and stuff. The drawback is, I will tell you up front, it is not handicap accessible. There are a lot of stairs going up, coming down. The course is not really equipped to handle sort of wheelchairs or anything. If you are fairly mobile, like I'm okay to move around as long as I have either my cane or my son or somebody to help me up and down stairs. I can usually do them pretty well. So I was able to accomplish it. I was exhausted afterwards, but I was able to do it. But it is not handicap accessible. There are no ramps. It's all stairs going up, coming down. But it was a lot of fun. It was a whole lot of fun. We fed the gators, and it was just a really nice time spending it with the family. But it is not handicap accessible. So be forewarned that if you do it, you need to be able to be semi-mobile to get up and down the stairs and stuff. So that is a thing. My mother actually did it a few months back. I had done it once before, and I knew it wasn't handicap accessible. But my mother did it, who's in her 70s, and even with her age and her with her not being able to do stairs well, she did it okay, but it's not easy. So you do have to have a little bit of stamina and be able to be somewhat mobile. So that is something fun. We also did some glow in the dark putt over at Putting Edge, which was at Deezerland, which is this huge indoor amusement park kind of thing. It had bowling, it had a automobile museum, it had a rage room, indoor go-karts and bumper cars, and it's free to get in and walk around, but the various activities are charged. Like they have a James Bond museum that I really want to go back and check out. What I liked about this place was when I first walked in, it was huge, it was massive, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be exhausted, I'm not gonna really do well. Well, as I was walking near the front, as you come through, they actually had EVC rentals. You can rent a scooter for like right around $13 or $14 for the day. I think it was for the day, and you can rent them. So you can actually get an EVC and go around that whole place via an EVC. So that was really a plus. I wasn't expecting that. So, you know, I was able to get an EVC rental, and it was amazing. I spent the whole day rolling around with my son in there. There's arcades and pinball machines, and like I said, bowling. There are, you know, little diners and ice cream shops. They even had a bar set up over by the Bond Museum, and across the top of the sign of it said, it was Bond's thing where he says, "Martini, shaken, not stirred," which was kind of cool. But it was a huge place. I mean, they have an indoor jump trampolines, all that stuff. So it's kind of like, it's really cool, but it did have an EVC rental, so I was able to get around on that. We did do glow in the dark putt-putt, which was not really bad. Again, it's not handicap accessible, but if you're mobile a little bit like I am, I was able to do it. I had to just be very careful with my depth perception where the like little steps were and stuff, but other than that, it was pretty good. I was able to do it. It's not handicap accessible, but like I said, the steps up and down, they're not too extreme. So I was able to do it. If you also are like me, along with my chronic illness, it's messed with my vision. So I have really bad depth perception, and I don't see well in the distance. But I was able to get around. My son was a pure joy. He helped me in and out of everything. So that is an activity you guys could probably check into. You know, for your family if you're down there. Some of the places seemed relatively easy enough to get in and out of. There was a few that were not handicap accessible, but overall not too terribly bad. And like I said, you can rent an EVC to get around, so that takes away from the exhaustion of walking around such a huge indoor park. We also went to Fun Spot, which it's not per se handicap accessible. It is a lot of it is outside, so you could take a wheelchair or your own EVC in there. They do not have either for rent, but if you have your own, you could definitely scooter poot around that area. And there's rides and stuff, so depending on your ability to ride roller coasters or stuff like that, like I'm capable of doing most theme park rides. I have noticed the older I get, even though I am all for trying everything once in your lifetime and never shying away from a good challenge, I have found the older that I get, the more I assess roller coasters and rides to find out if I'm really into them. You know, I used to be the one that would ride any ride, you know, no matter what it was, and now I kind of look at it and go, oh, you know, I'm 50, I've done a lot of roller coasters in my life. Is it really worth that, you know, 50-foot dive to my death, so to speak? So I'm a little bit more cautious on rides. You know, I don't shy away from them per se, but I do, you know, look at them and think, do I really want to like do that ride again? Or do I really think the thrill and the adrenaline of that ride is really worth it at my age? So I'm a little bit more selective where I get my adrenaline rush. Like down there in Old Town, they have what they call the human slingshot, and I mean, they literally put you in this little chair thing and literally pull you back and sling you, I think like 150 250 feet in the air. And I mean, you literally shoot up come down, bounce, and go back up. And I look at it, and 20 years ago, I would have thought, you know what, let's do it. If this, if my chronic illness hasn't killed me, this bungee jumping thing isn't going to. At 50, I kind of look and go, is it really worth the adrenaline rush? So I'm a little more selective, but the rides are great. They had a wooden roller coaster. I did do the Tilt-A-Whirl and the Scrambler because that's like old school favorites. And they have a game room down there. So I maneuvered around that pretty easily. You can definitely take your own wheelchair or EVC around there and get around pretty easily. What else did we do? Of course, we had to do Dave & Buster's. My son is really big on Dave & Buster's, so we did do that. They are handicap accessible. You can take a elevator up, and they have handicap parking and all that. And the games are easy enough to get to. So that was fun. What else did we do? We walked around Icon Park, which is beautiful. I'd love to spend one whole day down at Icon Park. I have yet to do that. I actually want to do the Ferris wheel, the Orlando Eye. I have not done that yet. It is on my bucket list to do. I would love to do it. So yeah, I want to get back down to Icon Park at some point and, explore that. Like I said, we didn't do Disney Springs. We were going to do a day at Disney and possibly Disney Springs, but we got rained out. The day that we were going to go, we woke up that morning, it was raining, so we made the decision that we'd go to Disney Springs later that day instead of the park, because we had gotten up bright and early, and we were gonna, we had reserved a ticket the night before because we're annual pass holders, and we got up that morning, it was pouring, so we canceled our reservation, and we were going to go down to Disney Springs later that night and walk around and have some dinner, but then the rain came back in later that night. So we didn't do that. But like I said, we did do Icon Park for a little bit. And we did some putt-putt. Explored a couple restaurants. Have to say, this time around, some of the places we hit for food were not very good. I was not impressed with the food selections we made. We tried a couple different restaurants. Was not impressed with any of them. One of them was a Chinese restaurant, and it was a Chinese takeout kind of thing. It was in the mall. We went to the Florida Mall, and it was in there. And usually they're pretty or our version of it up here, we have the same Chinese restaurant up here where I live, up in North Central Florida, and they're spot on. The food is amazing. The one in Orlando, not so much. I was overcharged. I was charged way too much for what I got. I was charged extra for substituting my meat for vegetables because I got the lo mein with a double order of vegetables. I was charged extra for that. My lo mein noodles were dry. I mean, it was the worst. Yeah, my Yelp review for that was not the greatest. But yeah, our food choices this time around were not great. We didn't hit a lot of good food places. We'll probably go back down again in a couple months and try some different ones, but our choices this time were not that great. So food-wise, we didn't really have, we really missed out by not being able to either go to Universal City Walk or Disney Springs for dinner a couple nights, because that's really where the good food is. And like I said, we went to Icon Park, but we didn't eat down there, and I wished I had, because there were a lot of nice restaurants down there, but we chose not to because the clouds were rolling in. So it was kind of a bust on that one. As far as activities, like I said, we did the putt-putt, we did the indoor amusement park, we did the outdoor amusement park, and we did the mall, because of course my son is all about shopping. So overall, it was a really, really nice weekend. But yeah, nothing to brag about on the food aspect. There's not like a one restaurant where I was like, oh my God, the food was so amazing, you need to try it. And as far as the activities, they were fun, but none of them were handicap accessible. I was able to do them very well, but they're not handicap accessible, so I can't really recommend them to you unless you're able to be mobile. If you're completely unable to maneuver stairs and stuff, they're not going to be the activities you are looking for. But overall, it was a really nice weekend, and I was so glad that I got to go, and I was able to come back and talk to you about it. And I hope to get back down to Orlando again sometime soon. I do go down probably, I'm hoping to start getting back down there a little bit more often, and not just to do Disney, but to do other things. I do know I will be at Universal at the end of April for 4 days. I'm actually staying at Dockside, so that's going to be a new hotel for me. I'm going to check that out, and I will be doing the parks and stuff, so I will get you some 411 on that, and I'll probably hopefully have some pictures, and when I get better at editing, I'll be able to go, oh, check this picture out and show you a picture. I'm working on it. If you are good at YouTube editing, tell me some of your favorite editing tricks and hacks. I would love that. But I'll be able to tell you about that. And then at the end of June, I have an entire week at Disney. And again, I will come to you with some information about that. Both of those trips are actually related to work a little bit, but I'm going to have some fun time. So I'll be able to do some recon there. And then my only other huge trip so far planned this year so far that I know is a definite plan that I'll be going is that I will be taking a 5-day cruise on the new Disney Wish. And I will take tons of pictures there. And if you follow me on social media, you will see me spouting about it probably for at least 3 weeks afterwards. And I will try to do some videos while I'm there that I can upload later for you. And, you know, I will definitely do a, I will definitely do a room tour of our handicap accessible room on the Wish so you guys can see how that is. And I believe this time I chose an inside room for that cruise because I wanted to check out the inside room. I knew the veranda rooms were nice, but I did an inside room and a handicap accessible one. Normally I just do a regular standard room. Because normally by the time I get to book my cruises, the handicap are gone. This time I scored one because I booked early on when the window first opened as a Silver Castaway member. I got a little bit of an early jump on booking, so I was able to secure that handicap. So, and then I have a handicap room coming on the Fantasy in February. I'm doing a 7-day trip on the Fantasy for Pixar Day. So I will definitely get, if you guys, hopefully you guys will be with me then, and hopefully you'll stick around with me for this journey, and I will definitely get you that. But until then, that's pretty much all for today, and that was about my trip to Orlando. I'm glad you were able to join in, and then if you have any questions, or if there is something in Orlando you'd like me to check out for you to see if it's handicap and if it's worth anything, hit me up in the comments. I'm always here. Ask me questions, you know, tell me what you want to hear and talk about, whatever. And so glad you're here. So glad you're on this journey with me. And I'm so blessed and grateful that you are supporting my channel and hanging out with me. I love my community. I love talking to you guys. I love learning about your different, I know most of us are chronic illness warriors. I love learning about your journey and how you have survived and what you have done in your life to inspire others and the hacks that you do on a daily basis to make it all day long. You guys inspire me, and I'm so grateful you're here. So thank you. All right, guys, I am off, and we will talk again. What's today? Tuesday. So we will talk again Thursday. And again, leave me a comment in the bottom if there's something you want to talk about, and we will definitely do so. All righty. Catch you guys on the flip side. Bye. Have a blessed one.